How would you like to purchase Amazon for just $10 a share? What about Apple at $35 a share? Or better yet, what about Caterpillar back in 1990 when it was trading for just $5 per share? No brainer, right? Well, shoulda, coulda, woulda. And the truth is we all miss out on an opportunity. There were probably signs that suggested these companies would be successful in the future, whether they were conscious or subconscious, and most of them probably happened right in front of your face. Today I'm going to share my biggest 3 misses in the stock market, what I've learned from those experiences, and what I do now to make sure that I don't miss opportunity. Here's an opportunity you can take advantage of right now. Hit the like button, please. Let's go. All right, so my first miss, which I'm still kind of upset about even to today, just to paint a picture before I tell you what the company was. I went to the University of Lincoln, Nebraska for graduate school, and I used to take the same road back to my off-campus house after I used to use the rec center and get a workout in, right? I don't know if you could tell, but I work out once in a while. So this restaurant was on the corner. It was a Mexican restaurant. They called it Chipotle. And where I was in New York and where I was going to undergraduate school in Connecticut, they didn't have a Chipotle restaurant yet. And friends of mine would always comment, man, the food is so good, it's so tasty, you gotta try it. But I'll be honest, Mexican food is not my genre of food, it's not my favorite. So I always kind of gently passed on it. Well, after about 2 months, I finally built up the courage after a workout. I went and had my first burrito at Chipotle, and it just like completely blew my mind. The food was amazing. I understood what my friends were talking about. Sir, would you like guacamole on your burrito? It's only an extra $1.50. Yeah, I want that guacamole on my burrito. People that were going there to eat always went back multiple times a week or several times a month, so I knew the food must have been good. At that moment, I said to myself, I wonder if this company is publicly traded. So I started digging around a little bit. I went on Yahoo Finance. I looked up Chipotle, and there it was. It was trading for right around $70 per share. They had just over 700 restaurants in the United States, so I didn't even know they were that big at the time. But what was even more interesting is they had just opened 125 of them the year prior, and their earnings per share almost doubled. So this was between 2006 and I believe 2007. Right there and then, I knew that company had something special. And after trying the product myself and hearing what other people had to say about it, I knew it was going to be a home run. Miss number 1. Big miss number 2, I've been a fitness professional for about 13 years, and I've been lucky to work with some of the best clients in the world, bar none. And a lot of them have been successful in their own careers. And for some reason, when cool stuff comes out, my clients were always the first to try them or to have them. And I remember my client had just come back from a ski trip in Aspen for the previous 3 weeks, and he pulled in this little car that was really quiet and I'd never seen anything like it before. So we're halfway through our session, and I said, Matt, you know, what kind of car is that? I've never seen anything like that before. He goes, oh, it's an all-electric vehicle. You get 240 miles every time you charge it. It takes a couple hours to charge, but no gas. And I was like, no way, that's amazing, right? So immediately after that session, or say that next day, I remember sitting down in front of my computer, going back online and just researching the company he was telling me about. And the company was called Tesla. Now at that time, they didn't have all the different models they have today. They just had the one Roadster model. And I just thought it was so cool, so revolutionary. And back at that time, it was trading for just $35 per share. I missed that one. So the last big miss I'm going to share is a company that you probably all know very well. It IPO'd back in 2012. The product was developed in 2003. Can you name the company? You probably use it every day in some capacity. If you said Facebook, you're 100% correct. So Facebook, when it first IPO'd, it was suggested it would hit the market around $18 per share. On the first day of trading, it shot all the way up to $35. And then after a few days, it wound up settling between $20 to $25 for the remainder of that year. And I remember listening to analysts, and they were all saying, well, too many shares of the company have been sold, and the company's way overvalued. But the truth is, I understood Facebook was a big data company from the beginning, and data has infinite potential. I missed that one. Those were my missed opportunities. I'm sure we've all had our own, but it's the lessons we learned because of them. So first and foremost, always look at consumer behavior over an extended period of time. When I saw the line at Chipotle was always at the door, and it didn't matter morning, afternoon, or evening, I should have known that was a quality product and a quality company. Same thing with Tesla in 2015 and 16. I saw them on the road everywhere. They were basically like Prius was back in 2010 to 2015. It just like took over for Prius. Okay. And then on the case of Facebook, my parents start using Facebook. If your parents start using a product that you grew up with, it's probably a good product. Takeaway number 2, look at larger trends in the market, macro trends. In the case of Chipotle, younger consumers want to understand where their food comes from and that's sustainable. And Chipotle claims to have food with integrity, exactly what the consumer is looking for. In the case of Tesla, we're removing ourselves from fossil fuels and going more towards electric and pushing less emissions into the air, right? Therefore, we're going more towards a greener energy source. And lastly, with Facebook, look how intertwined social media has become and continues to become in our daily life. It's where we connect with people, where we gather our information, so it's only growing in its popularity. Number 3, ask around. The people that use those products want to give you their feedback. In the case of Chipotle, when you're asking everyone how was their experience or was it good, and everyone keeps telling you how delicious it was and they can't wait to go back, that's a good sign that the product is superior to anything else in the market. Same thing with Tesla. New sleek design, there's very few mechanical issues, it's super fast, performance is great, people love driving it. That's a positive thing. It's only going to get more and more people to buy it. And with social media, people talk about how easy Facebook is to navigate, and they're able to connect with people regardless geographically wherever they live. That is a huge victory. So ask around, ask people for their opinions, and also take the good with the bad. Not every review is going to be great, but if there are more good reviews or significantly good reviews than there are bad ones, that's traditionally a good sign. Number 4, are these companies always adding things to their product or their service? In the case of Chipotle, think about burrito bowls, salads, vegetarian options, adding queso. Those were additions to the original menu, right? Trying to bring in more and more customers. With a Tesla, think about going from a Roadster to the Model S to the Model X. Now they go to the more affordable Model 3, Model Y, and now they have a Cybertruck next year, again, grabbing a larger consumer base. And then Facebook adding things like marketplace, jobs, dating, fan pages, everything they could possibly do to get more and more people using the platform and coming back on a regular basis. Lastly, are these companies buying up their competition? Tesla acquired DeepScale several years ago, and DeepScale provides or builds out the software that allows neural networks to identify the environment and allow for Tesla's autopiloting processes. So now not only is Tesla into the electrical vehicles, but they're also into self-driving cars. Now they've expanded well outside of cars, and you'll also see they're involved in solar energy as well. So this is really a renewable energy resource company. They acquired Solar City back in 2016. This company will produce the solar panels and solar roofs that you will see on someone's home in order to provide some kind of solar power energy. Facebook has made over 80 acquisitions in the past 15 years. Some of the largest include Instagram, which was about $1 billion back in 2012. They also purchased WhatsApp, which is one of the world's largest mobile messaging systems that allows you to share messages globally at no cost. Here's a recap of the 5 things to look for going forward when making an investment. Number 1, watch consumer behavior over an extended period of time. Number 2, look for macro trends in the market. 3rd, ask around and get feedback on that product or service. Number 4, are they always trying to improve on their product or service? And lastly, are they buying up the competition? These are 5 common characteristics amongst growth companies that I've missed opportunities on over the past decade. Sharing my experiences with you will give you the heads up so you do not make the same mistakes I made. If you found today's information valuable, Please feel free to share it with friends, share it with family, subscribe right here to this channel. I'd love to help as many people as I possibly can. And as always, save, invest, and grow. Ciao, ciao.